Anyone remember this Extra Emily clip?
Oh, this is Emily. Have you met her?
Yes, Chris!
Oh. Bring it on.
Was there a reason why you were late?
I had to put.
What happened there was that she accidentally showed that there was a page she had opened on Google Chrome named viewbot.ai, and that's a page where you can buy viewbots for subscriptions, for chatting, anything you want. And that prompted me to make this video. Now, there's a guy who was talking about viewbotting from the get-go, and everybody was calling him crazy, and you're a schizo, and oh, you're wrong, you're exaggerating. Don't believe me? Here's the clip.
I think like the only person who ever called out viewbotting was like Train, right? And a lot of people are involved in it. And now I look back to Train talking about it like 4 or 5 years ago, and he'd be spamming me with like 100 messages saying, Eddie, like this isn't real. I was like, fuck, the guy's crazy. But I was like, nah, never mind. Looks like I was the crazy one in the end. So no, it's good that it's a more common subject now. That's for sure. I think it's good.
So this guy, Trainwrecks or Trainwrecks TV, one of the co-founders of Kick, was talking to the owners of Kick, telling them, yo, there's a situation with viewbotting. It's going rampant on Twitch. We gotta do something because it's going to spread and it's going to cause some trouble. Like, come on, let's address it. And they were laughing it off. Oh, nothing is going on. You're a schizo. You're imagining things. Like, come on, take a pill. But it turns out that, again, he was right. And there's more.
Botting's been an issue the whole time. I think botting, I think in the past, people had a more reasonable approach. I think if they pulled, let's say, like 2,000 viewers, they bought it to 2,600, right? That's how it used to be. People used to just kind of add a little bit above, right? Now, people are adding like 50 times their view count, right? 20 times their view count. So if they're pulling 3K viewers, right? They viewbot to 60K viewers. They do a collaboration. Everyone goes crazy. They're like, oh, well, this makes sense. They're collaborating with 9 different streamers and they're outside eating, right? It's all fucked.
Not only was it smaller back in the day, but it was less frequent. But nowadays, everybody's doing it. Everybody's pulling these big numbers, and they're viewbotting on Twitch, on YouTube. Not that common, but they're doing it. On Kick, on Rumble, and it's getting out of control. Now it is actually the norm. If you don't viewbot, you're done. You're not going to be a part of the club. And that's an issue. There's a lot of people who try to defend it, but there's nothing to defend.
I think what confirmed Twitch being weird was when they released the viewbotting update, and they instead targeted everyone but the main culprits. All the main viewbotters who have completely destroyed the viewership ecosystem of what a real viewer is worth and what it takes to grow a real viewership completely went untouched. And I would even go as far as got endorsed by Twitch or Dan Clancy.
And again, referring to my first clip with Extra Emily, people like her are basically immune to the rules. Unless you get caught viewbotting like she did, there's going to be zero consequences. They hold a monopoly over all of Twitch streaming, basically. And you have to compete with them again. And Dan Clancy knows that they're viewbotting, but he doesn't care. They're getting promoted by him, and it is very troublesome. And that's why Twitch is weird. And that's one of the reasons why I hate it, and I'm never going there. And I'm never going to support the platform. But thankfully, you have to understand that the place is dying. It is barely sustainable. Like, if people have to resort to viewbotting massively every single time to quote-unquote survive there, even though, yes, they're making tons of money, at the end of the day, it is something positive. Because Twitch is going to be finished very soon. Trust me on that one.
I don't know why people think I'm so like delusional or schizo or projecting when I talk about the viewbotting problem on Twitch, But I keep seeing these jokes of Kick viewbots, but it's like I don't understand people don't step back and realize that the problem is 1,000 times worse on Twitch, 1,000 times worse, right? Like all those XQC clips are absolutely true. It's 1,000 times worse. I mean, like just go look at a few legitimate streamers, right? I mean, my stream's a perfect example. Summit1G stream's a perfect example, right? Tyler1 stream's a perfect example of like legitimate, right? Like you see it, right? If he switches from League to WoW, you see a drop off, right? If he switches from League to just chatting, you see a drop off or a rise. Like, right? this like new thing that's gone on, it's not some like new wave mainstream generational shift where now you maintain 50K viewers across all sections. Like that's not how view count works, right? If you build a core community, right, in one section and you see no drop off when you go to a completely random section you've never been to, it's like, it's very clear. Do you understand?
Like the example he gave you about Tyler1, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, League of Legends creator, streamer. He's a guy that will get tons of views with League of Legends, but he plays Street Fighter, he does different things. When he stops doing that, his viewership is going to drop, and sometimes massively. And you will be able to see that. On Twitch, it's very difficult, especially with the top streamers. You're going to see them doing RL or playing Fortnite or Roblox and same viewers, no change whatsoever. So you can tell that it's fake.
Viewbotting is actually hurting them more than they think. Because there have been multiple massive mainstream billion-dollar companies that have completely pulled out of streaming sponsorships and streaming marketing because the streamers or orgs they've worked for didn't convert on what they paid for, right? So they thought they saw it as non-profitable. So you have to understand, like those streamers or those orgs or whoever that took those sponsorships, right, took them to maximize, you know, what they can get based off fake analytics, and then completely push these billion-dollar companies outside of the streaming space. And no one knows about it, right? No one knows that now that they've potentially lost multiple billion-dollar company sponsorships from entering the scene and giving, you know, millions of dollars to small, mid-sized, large creators. So it's like it's things like this that are going to fuck everyone in the long term, right? So until these companies understand viewbotting and understand conversions and understand what to look at, we're just going to keep losing the support of these big-ass companies investing into a marketing budget for us. So that's like a major, major thing happening, right?
Let's say there's someone who's trying to sponsor me, Nvidia, Gillette, you name it, whatever. And they're saying, okay, can you give me 40K consistent viewers, right? We're going to run ads, or we're going to basically engage with your audience and prompt them to try and buy our products or merchandise or whatever. And I say, yeah, okay, yeah. So I look big, but in reality, they're not going to get anything from me because, again, they're all bots. So nobody's going to buy their graphic cards. Nobody's going to buy their products. Nobody's going to buy anything. And then what happens is that instead of blaming me, they're going to blame Twitch because they're going to say that viewers, I don't know, they are not stepping up to the plate, or they don't care, or it's basically a waste of time. Even though what's happening is that, again, it's all fake. Believe it or not, there's companies that have integrity and that don't really do shady stuff. And they're going to see that situation and then they're going to walk away. And they're never going to return. So this is actually damaging the streaming business big time. Like, big time. Seriously.
And Jesus Christ, I guess everyone's 30,000 viewers doing nothing. I feel like everyone is just like secretly like just accepted like a baseline of viewbot. Like there will be a day when like if this continues and Twitch does nothing about it, everyone's gonna say, what about Kick, dude? It's like, listen, the Twitch one is so bad. The Kick one, the fact that you're saying what about Kick is my point. The Kick one, it's obvious who's doing it. It's obvious. It's the Twitch one that's not obvious, that you should be asking yourself, wait a second, it's not obvious to us at all. It is so built into the entire ecosystem of viewership that we don't even know who is and who isn't anymore. That's how bad Twitch is. Do you understand?
The question you have to ask isn't that one. The question is, who isn't viewbotting? Because if everybody's doing it on Twitch, then the people who are legitimate are the ones we should look at. That's simple. And then we can analyze them and study them, and we can recognize the patterns that make someone legit. Instead of trying to look at, oh, who's doing it? It's a waste of time. There's too many people and the numbers fluctuate too much. But if we look at people like XQC, like you, who don't cheat, who do things, well, legally, even though you are a gambling guy, and okay, you are doing some degenerate stuff at the end of the day, let's be honest, okay? But you're telling the truth, and I appreciate the message. I want to be honest. But yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to look at the lowest percentile and then study them. And you'll get the answers you want.
People who viewbot, they're not eating off of their work. They're eating off of the work of others. Do you understand? They're piggybacking off of others. It's literally parasitic. I need to stop feeling bad. Stop feeling bad. Do you understand? In order to do what they're doing, they have to be shameless people. They have to be. So stop feeling bad for them. I feel bad. Like right now that I've cooled down, I feel bad, right? Because I'm thinking about their feelings. I'm thinking about how they might feel, even though I know they're doing it, right? I need to stop doing that. These people are deliberately, right, taking away opportunities from others, right, and doing fucked up shit for their own greed. I need to stop feeling bad.
Oh, well, everybody else is doing it, so I have to do it. Don't feel bad for them. They know what they're doing. It is very scummy, and they're cheating, they're stealing, they're lying, but also, most importantly, they are insulting your intelligence as a viewer. Okay? It's that simple. So no, stop engaging with them. If you know that they're viewbotting, leave and never return. No matter what they say. Even if they stop doing it, never return. You want to know what the worst part is? At the end of the day, they end up believing the lie. They end up thinking that they're big shots. They end up thinking that they're charismatic, that they're special. But they're replaceable. They're NPCs, they're nobodies. So don't feel bad and move on. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Subscribe, like, dislike, whatever you want to do. And please take care, okay?